Welcome to the Black Swan Yoga Podcast. I'm Madilyn Chen here with Patsy Montoya, and we are wishing you a happy new year. Happy 2020!
Yes!
We're so excited to dive in today to talk about creating the life of your dreams, manifesting, goal setting, intention setting, really calling in mindfully what you want for your life. Patsy and I are both very passionate about mindful living and setting goals or intentions for our own personal growth. And we both have many different practices that we've utilized over the years and continue to find new ones as we are on our spiritual path of growth. So we're excited to inspire you to dive in with us.
Yeah, welcome, yogis. We're so happy to have you. So January is a really interesting month where a lot of people go gung-ho on what they want and their new goals and who they want to be. And, I think it's beautiful. But I also recommend not changing your entire life all at once.
Totally.
I wanted to start there that I recommend small steps every day and what you can do for that day versus, well, let me make a list of 10 things that I'm going to totally change and, huge habits that might be really hard to change versus small things working towards your goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
It's definitely the aftermath of the holiday season still carrying over. Stress,
Mhm.
fast-paced living. It's funny, we go from, November, December being a little bit stressful, exciting, crazy, chaotic, go, go, go. And then we jump into January, which is a whole new perspective on excitement and living and moving, but still can be very fast and a little bit overwhelming if you want to do it all. So
Yes.
we're here to talk about ways you can achieve a lot, but also keep yourself sane.
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things or the first things to do is to look at what you do want to change, where you want to be and the steps to get there, whether that be a fitness goal, a weight loss goal, a health goal, maybe a financial goal, maybe a dream, a personal goal to achieve. But I think looking at what do I really want is the first thing, because it's easy for us to say, okay, it's January, so I'm going to just kind of follow the crowd and do, I'm going to lose some weight. Okay, well, how are you going to lose that weight? What are you going to do to get there? And how much weight do you want to lose? And then why do you want to lose it too?
Totally. Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to cause you a lot of peace and success if you have a goal, but then you take the time to really think about it. And one of the ways I like to do so is to daydream and allow yourself to just sit for a few minutes at a time and either close your eyes and visualize a version of you or a version of your life that you really want to bring in and call in, or journal and get into great detail about what your life will look like in all aspects if you're able to call in these new intentions into your life. And you really, for me, I'm a type of person that likes to be organized, and I have to-do lists and categories and organization in a lot of ways. So I generally use those things I love when it comes to setting New Year's goals. And I kind of categorize my intentions into different parts of my life. So I'll divide them up into career goals, relationship goals, health goals, mental health goals, yoga practice goals or intentions. And I really like to get into all these facets of my life because they all weave together so much, like you're giving this example of saying you want to lose some weight or lose a few pounds. That could affect everything about your life. It could affect your yoga practice and how you connect with your body. It could affect your budget, how much you're spending on healthier food or certain styles of food. It could affect your relationship, like are you able to go out and enjoy your life and go out for dinner or have a dinner party or something or not? So it's everything that we call in isn't ever really just isolated into just that. Like, I'm just going to lose weight and everything else in my life is going to be the same. It really affects everything. It's the butterfly effect of change. So being aware of that and setting yourself up for success is really key. Like, if you want to lose weight, personally, if any time I have ever tried to lose weight, I get pretty irritable. Okay. I'm like, I want to be eating right now. And I'm like, don't talk to me like that. Whatever. It's like, you have to really, I think, be self-aware enough to say like, okay, I have this goal and what are the obstacles to getting there? Whether that is your mood or your time or your money or whatever. And then be realistic about setting yourself up for success so that you're not setting yourself up to fail and then starting your new year in a way that's, counterproductive. So
I'm so glad that you mentioned that it affects your entire life. Like because it does. A lot of times if we're bringing something into our life, we might have to say goodbye to something else to make time for it.
Totally.
And if we're not, then we might be, exhausted. Or as you mentioned, mental health, that's a really big thing that can easily be overlooked. How is this affecting my mental health right now? Is this actually good for me or is this stressing me out? Is this actually something that might end up being detrimental for my mental health? And if that's the case, then make adjustments. It doesn't have to, any sort of goal or ambition, it doesn't always have to look a certain way or be a certain way. A lot of times we take our own path, our own steps, and sometimes that means what feels like a step back to go forward, to reevaluate and then start again.
Absolutely. And it's such a hard balance. I've been thinking about New Year's goals and intentions and that looks different for everybody in any given year. Like I said, I like to be really organized and have goals in all the areas of my life. And I normally do that every year. Like, I have a week or two where I just spend time thinking and reflecting on the last year and the ways in which I've grown and the ways in which I want to grow in the upcoming year. But then this year, I feel like, very different in my approach to the year. And I haven't, spent a lot of time on reflecting of each individual. Did I hit all my goals? I was super organized here and there. And more so, my intention for the year is just to be present and to try to just live more and be in the moment more. And that for me is enough to encapsulate the ways I want to grow in all these different categories: career, relationship, health, mental health, all these different things. It is boiling down to this really simple mantra of be here now, be present. So it can be, more concentrated or simplified, or it can be really elaborate and like, okay, I'm going to travel to these 3 places and I'm going to explore this type of diet and I'm going to do this with my relationship and, but like wherever you're at, just dive in.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you have a mantra. I would recommend that too. A mantra or a word.
Super powerful.
Yeah.
That's one thing consistently I do every year. And most of the time it's for me cornered around my mental health and well-being. I have an intention that I know that I really need to call in and work on. And in the past, it's been things like compassion, more compassion. And it's radically changed my life in every area of how I look at the world and myself. Or, like this year is be here now, this mantra of be present. So it doesn't always have to be an external goal like lose some weight or, change my habits or whatever. It could be more so starting with the seeds in your mind. What are you planting to bloom into all the other aspects of your life?
I love that. And make it for you. We have a friend who she said her mantra is diligence for this year.
Ooh.
I know. And I love that. Diligence.
Nice.
Yes.
You've used discipline in the past.
Yeah, that was mine
That's
last
awesome,
year. Yes.
That's great. It doesn't always have to be like flowery, like be here now, like me. It could be a little bit more hard ass, like get some discipline, you know? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool.
And it's funny looking on last year was discipline. This year, I'm not sure what my word is yet, but yeah.
Don't rush.
I know. I got to think on it more. But
be here now. It'll come to you.
I know. I think something around those words of like contentment, something of whatever happens, open palm. And a phrase that I keep thinking about is from a Buddhist perspective is the only way to find true peace is to resist nothing. And so that's kind of where I'm starting to go into of where do I find resistance in my life?
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
why do I resist it? What am I pushing away from? And then looking at it like a challenge of self-discovery.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What you resist persists.
I love that
Unfortunately,
phrase.
I was
Yeah.
journaling this morning. I committed to a 40-day meditation a week ago,
That's right.
where I'm meditating every morning with my mantra and my mala beads, doing a full circle of 108 repetitions of the mantra, and then I'm pulling a tarot card, seeing what the universe has to teach me that day, and journaling. So I have this 3-step process: meditate, tarot card, journal, and it takes 20 to 30 minutes. So I have to carve out time for that, and it is. Today I was journaling, cracking up. I'm like, really? I'm still working on the same thing. What you resist persists. It is so true.
Yeah.
The more you can, learn that lesson, the more free you'll be. So
yes. And sometimes we think we did get over it. There's lessons in my life that I'm like,
totally,
oh,
exactly.
Here you are again.
Exactly. Oh my God.
And it's so true that, okay, you're here again for a reason. Let me look at you and let's discuss this.
Let's have a talk, self.
Yeah.
Totally.
So we absolutely recommend journaling for sure. Diving into what changes you would like in your life, being realistic with it. Let's not change our entire life overnight, because knowing that it takes time and patience and compassion, practice, and then also maybe having a mantra for your year. It could be one word. It could be, Maddie's be here now. I think that is the mantra, really, that, I when I'm in conversations with people and I catch myself drifting off somewhere else, it's like, oh, bring it back, and I can really be present and deeper and get more out of it and give more as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
In all aspects, like if you're finding yourself anxious, thinking about the future, or repeating in your mind often, what if this happens? What if that happens? It's really future thinking.
Yeah.
And you're moving out of the present moment. And being in the present moment, it's like, I'm here right now. Okay, I'm safe.
Yeah.
I've got food and water. I have what I need. It's really, you're able to have that mindset of like, enough. Everything is good.
Absolutely. They say anxiety could be, future thinking, and then depression from the past, regrets and thinking about guilt, or, just whatever from the past. And those, we don't have room for those feelings when we are present. If we are being right here, right now, it's really hard to think about anything else about, so, and I agree with you so much that reminding yourself that you're safe. Remind yourself, you know what? This floor is holding me. This is what I have. Give your, a loved one a hug. I have this person. I'm okay. I am safe.
Yeah, it's important.
It is.
That, in the philosophy of the chakras, your root chakra, your foundation, is all about your sense of security and safety and feeling grounded. And if that root chakra is unstable, like a foundation of a house, if it's cracked, everything starts to shift, every part of your life. So getting that foundation of, I have enough, I am enough, I am safe, I am secure, I have my health, I have my mental health. Getting all of that stuff in order is really key to set your foundation so that you can create your house or grow or, blossom from there. And it takes a lot of time to do that, like it can take years. It's always a practice, it ebbs and flows. And, but it's such a balance between thinking in the past to reflect in how we've grown, like you don't want to be so in the present that you're not growing or, you're not learning from your past mistakes or lessons rather. you have to kind of do this dance between.
Yeah.
It's a two-step. It's a Texas two-step of the past and the future. It's hard.
I love that. It is. It is hard, and it's delicate.
It's unique.
And I think it's one of those things that the only way that you can really dance is to just dance, to do it. We can tell you about it all day, but as soon as you start to really analyze I'll use analyze or self-study with your own life and your own actions and where your mind goes, that's the only way you're going to learn of the delicate dance.
Totally.
Yeah. How can I plan for the future?
For sure.
While remaining safe and present.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's also similar to one of the yoga philosophies of balancing effort and ease. And this concept in the yoga practice, balancing sthira and sukha, this output and also just contentment, it's really, I think, such a unique dance to you individually.
Yeah.
It's not going to look like your friends or coworkers or anyone in your life, because it's unique to you. How you can balance setting goals, putting in effort, putting in time and energy, but also knowing when to be content and present. Like last year I did, in January, we host a 30-day yoga challenge where you practice 30 days in a row or 30 practices in a month. And I signed up for that challenge last January, and I was going into it all confident, like, yeah, I'm a yogi. I'm a yoga teacher. I've been practicing for over a decade. It's going to be great. I'll be fine. I could practice every day. And it was enlightening and humbling. But I got in, 20 days or something like that. I don't remember exactly. And I started having a flare up of an old injury. And it was such a dance of, well, I made this commitment, but I'm having this physical pain and suffering come up. Where do I evaluate? Do I continue practicing in a different way and modify my practice? Or do I stop this journey that I set out on? Or which path do I verge to? And it's all, it's all part of the lesson of wherever you need to go, wherever you need to grow. So I'm just thinking back to last January when I was doing this challenge of really having to balance that effort and ease of, having a clear goal, but also surrendering to reality of, I'm having this injury flare up that could get really bad if I don't listen to it and I keep pushing myself physically. Where do I need to draw the line and change my plan?
Is your attachment to the goal so are you so attached to the goal that you begin to bring your body into pain or your mental health into pain?
Totally.
I think that that's really big. And I think that it's just a personal dance, as you said. It's a personal thing of figuring out, where do I find growth? Because sometimes we do find growth by giving ourselves some ease and letting go of that attachment to the goal, giving yourself some compassion that, hey, it's okay that I didn't finish the 30 days, or that, I'm letting myself get a little off this really strict diet or whatever it is because my mental health is suffering right now.
Totally.
I think that takes, I think that that's admirable. I think that that's really respectable to notice that and stop it and know that it's just a line that's different for everyone, knowing where your line is.
Absolutely. And I think it all circles back to the deep awareness of your why and your values. Setting an external goal it's so important to have a deep understanding of why you're pursuing it. If your external goal is to do headstand, why do you want to do that? And what are you willing to commit and or sacrifice to get there? And where are you going to surrender if you need to? Where are you going to respect your body's limitations or your mental health to get there? Having your values very clear in your mind, I think, can really help you avoid or stay away from unnecessary suffering that happens when you're really attached to something. And like you were saying, resistance is something that causes us suffering. Resistance and attachment are like two sides of the coin. They're the opposites, but essentially the same. Being super attached to something or being very resistant to something, it's the same expression or continuum that we want to try to get in the middle of, where we're finding balance so that we're not having too much suffering in one way or the other way.
Absolutely. Wow. I never thought about that, how they are the different sides of a coin. And there's so many different aspects of my life where I either am too attached or I'm resisting something too much. Or
it's natural.
Yeah.
It's human nature, unfortunately.
Human experience.
Human experience. We don't want to like have a boring, peaceful life. It's just so boring to be so peaceful and content all the time. We need some drama in there. Eye roll.
LOL.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Yeah. But we were talking about growth and being propelled to grow.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you need that shakeup of energy sometimes. Like, I have a sadness that I would hurt myself in this certain way in the past, and I don't want to go back to that place. So in effort to have a deeper sense of contentment and happiness, I am going to remember that I, caused myself suffering by doing XYZ, and I'm going to carry that with me and forgive myself and practice letting go. But I don't want to forget that so that I can continue moving forward into this positive place. So such a dance.
It is.
I really like the dance analogy.
I do too. I'm into this. And I like that you brought up two-step, because two-step is 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Because sometimes it is that way.
Totally.
It's like, like, damn,
wow,
I
that's
did
so
it
funny.
again.
Or, the wisdom of Texas. Oh my God. Yeah, I have this really beautiful quote from some healthcare providers that say, healing is not linear. If you set out on a goal to heal something, we all assume that we should be moving up. And it should be a straight upward slope. My healing should be linear. Every day I should be getting better, and it should be progressing. But the truth of it is you got 2 steps forward, maybe 1 step back. And it's, sometimes it's a fast up and then a plateau.
Yeah.
It can be up and down,
Yes.
whether it's healing from anything, physical, mental health, whatever it is. Healing is not linear. And that for me gave me such a sense of relief of, oh, okay, I'm normal, whether it's my body or my mind or my heart, it is all happening how it should. And my unique journey to healing is just a process.
And it's almost permission to forgive yourself, whatever,
totally
mistakes or whatever came up, to move forward, to just keep moving, recognizing that your journey is absolutely that. It's unique to you, your path. And this goal, this ambition, this resolution that you have is yours. And so coming back to your why, is it for other people? Is it for other people to see you and, you put on a show? Or is it for you? And if it's for you, then make it yours, knowing that it's not just linear and you're going to go all around the place with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Life's a ride.
Yes.
Or a dance, stick to the analogy.
Or a highway.
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, now that we're in a new decade, we can reflect on all the old music. Anyways, so back to the goal setting, strategy. I think really powerful ways in which I've set goals and achieved them is to genuinely spend time thinking about them and think about them over the course of days or weeks, depending on how long you normally take to process and integrate stuff. But what I like to do is create this vision of my ideal world, my ideal life, and really give it life and details, bring it to life, give it, taste, sounds, textures, feelings, emotions, colors, weather, everything, like you can really create and manifest so many things in your life, but you have to be clear to get there and you have to be confident enough to call them in and work hard to get them. So what I like to do is to think about being in a place I want to be, let's say in a year, or maybe sometimes it's a few years that is a goal. It's the start of 2020 and you're thinking, okay, in 5 years from now, I want to be here. It could be a 1-year goal or however long you want. Think about yourself in the future in that place and get really detail oriented on all of these different aspects of what your day might look like or life might look like, and be unafraid to dream. There's this, one of my favorite poems or quotes is from Marianne Williamson, talking about how our deepest fear isn't that we are, weak or have too much darkness, but rather our deepest fear is that we have this infinite power, this ability to grow and expand and to achieve beyond our wildest dreams. And that if we can open up to that reality that we have so much potential, it really unlocks your creativity to create and manifest more than you ever thought you could. So allow yourself to think deeply. And, they say, like, if your dreams don't scare you, maybe they're not big enough. You just have to let yourself go there, be courageous to think about what you want.
Don't hold back, and don't think about the like how you're going to get there at this point. At this point, just think about what you want and what your ideal dream life. I love how you're like, bring in your senses. So what would you want to eat for breakfast? What do you feel on your skin? Like, let's imagine, for example, that 5 years from now, you'd like to live on a beach house. Okay. So what does your typical day look like? What time do you wake up? What do you wake up to? What do you see? What do you hear? Maybe you hear the waves. Maybe you can feel like some salty wind on you. And then what does your work look like? I love getting into the details of that and really have fun with it without worrying about the how you're going to get there at this point.
Absolutely. Think big. Don't let money, education, time, place, anything hold you back at this phase. You really have to create this openness to dream.
That's that quote that you brought up. I love that you brought that up. I actually read that to my brother just the other day. So how very serendipity.
Cool.
Yeah. And it's so true
awesome.
that we don't realize the power inside of us for many of us. And maybe that is what scares us.
Totally. Yeah, deeply. It sounds so strange, but the first couple of times I read that quote, I was like, what? No way. I'm like, but then I started thinking about it and putting it into practice and realizing, like, wow, it's really true.
Yes. And you have the power of abundance within you. And I think tapping into it, and for me, it's really through like my yoga practice and having a community of people around me that support the sense of, I'm going to call it magic because it feels like magic. When you start tapping into that power, things in your life open up. It's incredible. And it really is empowering to know that you can create the life of your dreams. And that's huge. So if you don't believe it, borrow it from us that you can, please. Like, you have that power inside of you.
Imagine we're sharing some fairy dust to you right now. Sparkly goodness. So you spend this first part of the practice like really opening up and not being attached to the tangible how, and really allow yourself to dream and get into all the beauty that you could create. And then once you have this ideal day in your future, that's when you start to shift gears and become more tangible. So you balance this effort of manifesting, creating, dreaming, like thinking huge, infinite, with being really grounded and practical and realistic of, okay, I have this goal to live on the beach in a beach house. How much time is it going to take me to get there? How much is it going to cost? What type of job am I going to need to manifest this dream? And then you kind of work back from there. And like, let's say you have a day that you're dreaming of in 1 year from now. So you're just focusing on making the goal for the year. Think about what you can achieve either month to month or quarter by quarter. So it is January right now. In 3 months from now, I want to have achieved these smaller goals that help make up the bigger goal and help propel me closer to this future goal that I have coming up. So you kind of break it down into the tangible things that you can create and turn it into a reality.
Absolutely. And I love that breaking it down. You can put without attachment, put a time frame on things. Okay, by, as you said, like this time in a year, I will be here this time, and then just start manifesting it and believing it. I think that that's really like the secret with this is like, if you don't believe that's going to happen, then it won't happen. Like anything in life, if you think that it will, then chances are like it's more likely to. And that goes both ways. If you are really thinking in the sense of fear, then that's like a spiral, and whatever that you're afraid of, you're inviting into your life. But if we're thinking in the sense of positivity and health and what you want to manifest, then that's the direction you're sending your energy. And I know it sounds for some of you listening like woohoo, woohoo, but there's so much science behind it, and it's true.
It's true.
It's
Quote,
true.
Patsy. Oh my God, that was awesome.
Take it from me.
Yeah, seriously though. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. All right. So that's definitely the bigger way to set goals. And you can do that in all aspects of your life, thinking in an organized way of all the different areas of your life like we've spoken about. But then you could also have, smaller goals like we talked about that are more abstract and allow you to go with the flow and welcome what the universe brings you without having the pressure to achieve a certain outcome, like just having a mantra for the year or the month, or, having a small goal of once a month, I am going to treat myself to a walk outside. It could be something little, something big, and your interpretation of how big or small that is perfect,
Yes.
So I think the whole point of this is not so much of living in the future and trying to be so goal oriented that we can't be present, but rather all of this in my mind is about mindful living and having awareness of ourself and the reality around us to be living a life that we're proud of and happy and feeling content in. And rather than getting caught up in, I haven't hit my goals, or, I set out to do this challenge, but I have to stop it, or, thinking I failed, or thinking in black and white, rather thinking the whole point of this is just to continue growing, evolving, and to really be conscious, awake, and mindful.
I love that. I'm going to add in I mentioned community earlier, but I'm going to go off of that and say the people around you that are really close, talk to them about your goals together. Like for instance, Maddie and I working together at Black Swan. Well, what do we want to achieve together this year for Black Swan? What are our goals and our dreams as we work together in this, realm? And then also even in our friendships, like, where do we want to go? Just earlier we're talking about, well, I want our husbands to see each other more, like we want to get together more, make that a goal. And then with, if you have a loved one, a partner, a spouse, what do you want to do together in that setting? And that's like, it could be, because you two are so close, could be financial and, financial, personal, all of it, spiritual,
Intimate, everything.
Yeah, really, all these different layers of your life. But I do recommend getting with the people that are closest to you and talking about what you want to create together for, not just this year, maybe moving on, maybe just this week, maybe the month. But I think it's really important to be on the same page with what you're working on.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'll help you manifest it.
Yeah.
The more you can claim it. And like you were saying earlier, if you believe it, you can achieve it.
Yes.
Like with the quotes today, where are they coming from? Source unknown. But believe it to achieve it. I don't know. Someone claimed that as a trademark. Maybe I will. But the more you can speak it and say to people like, this year I'm really working on my ability to be present. And I would love for you to give me, feedback every so often. If you notice that I'm going off the course, or you notice that I am not serving myself or us in the way that I best could, I invite you to be, communicating to me because I trust you as a loved one in my life,
Mm.
that you are going to be giving me this feedback from a compassionate place, not from a judgmental place, but rather a supportive place to help me achieve what I want to, and it's like, it could be one person or it could be, everybody,
Yeah.
you're going to the grocery store and you're like favorite checkout person. You're like, I need you to be serious with me. Am I buying too much from Whole Foods right now? Am I spending my whole paycheck? Please tell me.
It is accountability. And then you're also speaking it out into the universe. For years, I thought that my dreams and goals had to be like really secretive and I had to keep them so close to my heart because I didn't want people to steal them. I was living off this place of fear. And then looking back on that, I'm like, well, of course, that's when I was, kind of plateauing or even like degressing, coming backwards. Versus whenever I started opening up to people more about what I want and where I am, and even being vulnerable with that fear was really, I think, like breakthrough moments of my life when I started having these deeper connections, speaking it out into the universe of what I want, letting go of what's not serving me, AKA the fear, it's huge too.
And that's so cool you're saying that because and it's so powerful for people to reinforce it. Like, I'm thinking about an example I have in my life. I'm 37 weeks pregnant right now. And over the last few years, I decided that I would be kind of unafraid to claim the fact that I wanted to be a mother and have children and really put that out there in the world. So with all my students or friends or family for years, I've been really open about the fact that I really want to have kids, but, I was waiting for, to create this or that in my life. So it was something I wanted years, ahead, but it was something that wasn't really the right timing for me yet. And I was just vulnerably open about that. And now that I am pregnant and about to have a baby, it's been really powerful and heartwarming how many of my old students or my longtime friends have reflected back to me like, this is something you've wanted for so long and now you're making it happen, and it's like, wow, that's so cool. You are right. Because it's really easy to forget when you're in the hustle and the grind of your life, whatever it is, that, wow, I really called this into my life, or this is something that I wanted for a long time and worked hard to get, and it's here and I can enjoy it. And you know what I mean? So it's the more you can be open and vulnerable and human and connect to people, it will serve you. It will come back to you. It's been really beautiful to see that.
Oh, that is
Isn't
heartwarming.
that cool?
I love that.
Yeah.
And to savor those moments.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I've all this hard work and this creating the life that, because it is like, for getting pregnant obviously can just happen, but I know that you have made sure that you were at the place in your life that you wanted to be at, but to have a baby come into your family. And I think that took a lot of work and a lot of designing and a lot of creating and a lot of communication between you and your husband. And that is huge to look back on and to have people in your life remind you that it didn't just like happen.
Yeah.
The pieces didn't just fall.
Yeah.
You put them there.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Feels really good.
It's beautiful.
Believe to achieve.
Another quote.
Oh, gosh. And be flexible to where life wants to take you and lessons and the journey that is unexpected, because we have goals in our life and places we want to go. And it's really true that they say, you never know where your life is going to take you. My grandfather gave me really great life advice. He's like, it's not about what, you want to happen in your life, but rather it's about how you handle what life brings you, like have goals, manifest things, create your life, be productive. But at the same time, you can't control your life. You can't say by, the end of this month, I'm going to be in a headstand for 5 minutes and 32 seconds. We have to go with the flow and trust the journey and welcome the lessons when there is, a new path or a different path than what we thought we would be on.
Yeah.
And that's where the magic lies, like moving away from resistance and attachment and just finding this balance of effort and ease where we're going with the flow, but also having some direction, but we don't have such a tight grip on the wheel where we're steering.
I love that. It's, we have a dear friend who we're helping along with his career and, just giving him some advice. And both Maddie and I yesterday looked at each other and said, his perspective is amazing and so impressive because he's so grateful for our advice. Whereas, when there's times in our life where the challenges feel like everyone's coming at you and they're coming down on you and life is happening at you.
Or to you.
Yeah. But really it's happening like for you and it's a gift. And these challenges, when we can flip our perspective to take it with grace and like, okay, I'm making these changes for my goals. And these challenges are not easy, obviously, but I'm going to have the perspective of gratitude. And when I feel like things are happening to me, like trying to come at it with grace and with my practice and with my breath and meditation and remembering to be open to it, to have that open palm of whatever's about to happen, like I'm here to receive it.
It's happening for me.
Yes.
Even if it's painful or hard or, a tough lesson or whatever it is,
it's
thinking
still a
in that, gift
Yes.
and abundance mindset is really powerful.
Because when we're blocking ourselves away from it, I think that is when we miss that gift. We're missing an opportunity. And I really think that we hinder ourselves when we take things personal or we see these challenges or someone, trying to give us advice and support. We see them as hardships and, it's things that we can't get over versus this is for me. This is a moment, this is exciting.
Totally. So remember your power.
Yes.
And your breath. Those things will keep you grounded and going where you want to go. And just remember that you have support, whether it is online, listening to this podcast, or the people in your life. You are not alone and you can do it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for listening and joining us. We are just beyond grateful to be able to connect with you this way. And, if you'd like to connect with us on another level, we always have BSY TV. We have an app now. It's on Apple iTunes. It's on
Android, Roku, everything. Really.
It's everywhere.
If you want to practice with us online, you can meditate or, we have a bunch of meditations that are about manifesting your goals on bsy.tv and on the app. And it's super cheap. And we have so much going on this year. We have teacher training happening in all of the cities where Black Swan Yoga is. We're leading a teacher training to Tulum in June. If you want to go to the beach in Mexico with us, we have retreats on the radar. We have so much goodness happening.
Yes.
So please, join us at blackswanyyoga.com and check out all the awesome stuff we have going on and connect.
Thanks again, guys. We love you.
Happiest New Year.
Happy
2020.
New Year. 2020.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.